Hey guys, what is going on? This is Furgie here, back for another video, and today I am bringing you guys sort of my beginner and intermediate guide to all different types of crafting in the Elder Scrolls Online. This is going to cover all of the different professions or skills you can have under those professions, and let's get right into it. We're going to start out with blacksmithing, clothing, and woodworking. Arguably, the three most important professions in the Elder Scrolls Online all revolve around crafting your own armor and weapons. All of these three professions work exactly the same way, so I'll just go really in depth into blacksmithing, and then I'll give a little example of some woodworking and some clothing. So the first tab here is refining. Now, throughout the world you'll find some ore, and you'll see it's in a node on the ground. You can actually get a skill that lets you see it easier, and you can run up to it, pick it up, and when you collect 10 of these ore, you can actually refine them into their respective ingot. So we'll go ahead and press E to put this into the refining slot, press R, and there we go. We have some ebony ingots and some dwarven oil, which is also very nice. Okay, so I've refined that. Obviously I don't have anything else to refine at the moment, but another way to get materials for refining is through deconstruction. Now, deconstruction revolves around finding items out in the world, putting them into this deconstruct slot. Obviously this would have to be heavy armor or any kind of weapon besides a staff or a bow. You deconstruct it, and in turn you can earn its respective ingot and maybe even some other materials. Let me see if I can find an example here of a deconstruct. Alright, so under clothing, I do have a bunch of stuff I can deconstruct here, as you can see, but I don't want to oh, here we go. Here's something I can deconstruct. So we're going to take this dagger, fall guard tabard, going to put it into the slot, deconstruct it, and boom, I get some hemming, star metal, some hide, which is the material used to craft that, and some quartz, which is very nice. This other armor over here is for my set that I'll be using in the future. So back over to the blacksmithing station. I just showed you guys deconstruction. Now I will show you creation. Now, creation is what it sounds like. It lets you take any of the multiple kinds of weapons, in this case, or heavy armor in the game, and create it however you wish. You can customize it in a lot of ways. First of all, we have the level range of the item. Now, obviously, this revolves around what level you are, and you'll be able to make things lower than you in the future. So here's iron ingots, which are level 1 through 14, and then obviously I work my way all the way up. There's some ebony, which goes up to level 50. So let's go ahead and take dwarven, for example, and we will make a dwarven battle axe. Now, if I want to increase the level range of this battle axe, all I have to do is click the plus here, and as you can see, 38, 40, 42, 44 is the maximum for dwarven, and it does a damage of 98, which is very good. Now, if I want to change how this looks, all I have to do is simply change my style down here. Now, if you want to be able to craft these styles, you have to learn the motifs, and motifs are books you can buy or find throughout the world in furniture and houses and whatnot that will let you learn how to craft that certain racial style. So I have Redguard, Nord, Bosmer, and Dunmer, obviously, because I'm Dark Elf. So let's take a look at Nord. I actually do kind of like how the Redguard one looks, so I'll go ahead and look at that. Now, just to give you guys an example of trait, I'll go to Maces here because I have some traits research. And this is how research works. Basically, you'll find an item out in the world that has a specific trait on it. We'll take my dagger, for example, here. My dagger has the trait Precise, which increases weapon and spell critical values by 2.5%, okay? Now, your trait also increases when you increase the quality of your weapon. So mine's blue or rare. And if I upgraded it to purple, I believe it would get to maybe 4 or 5%. So, going back to the blacksmithing station, if I find a weapon, say another dagger, with a trait on it, like Powered, which I haven't found yet, I would take it here and I would research it, in turn destroying the dagger, but then I would be able to craft any dagger in the future with that trait. Now keep in mind, just because I take a heavy armor chest plate and research it does not mean I'll be able to put that same trait on light or medium armor as well. It's only heavy. So if I have that research trait, as you saw, I have a lot in the dagger section because I use daggers a lot. We can go here to mace, which I also have some in, and I have defending and weighted. So weighted increases attack speed, and defending increases total armor and spell resistance. So you kind of have to pick and choose which one you want. For this one, I'll go ahead and go with defending. Let me see if I have any other research. I don't think I do, because I just don't use any of those, so I would rather deconstruct them. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make this mace with some weighted. In the red guard style, level 30. Let's just bump it up. I'm not going to use it, but whatever. And we can craft that. So there we have that dwarven steel mace. I'll whip that out and show it to you guys here. There it is. It looks pretty sweet. So we can go ahead and go back to the blacksmithing station now, and if we want to improve the quality of this item, here's how you do it. Why is it not showing up for me? Let me unequip it here. Okay, so here under improvements, we can see this dwarven steel mace that I just made moments ago. And if we want to make this item green status, which is fine over, normal, we'll simply add it and take some honing stones, contribute it to the upgrade, because the more honing stones you add, the higher chance you have of it succeeding. If you do not succeed, you see I have a 60% chance. So that 40% chance, if I hit that, the weapon is destroyed. So obviously you don't want to waste your time. So I normally go for 100%. So here we go, we can upgrade this, and there we have a green status dwarven steel mace. Now, I don't have a lot of dwarven oil, and I want to be able to use it for a couple things in the future, so I'm not going to actually upgrade this, but you guys can see it does increase the damage, and it also increases the trait to 4%, which is cool. So you can see upgrading the quality of your weapons is very much worth it. So that is pretty much how blacksmithing works. Obviously, it's exactly the same with crafting heavy armor. I'm actually going to deconstruct that mace I made. See if I can get anything back from it. Oh, look at that! I got a honing stone. Okay, so it's identical with clothing. Obviously, it just revolves around different materials. There I have a few more things to refine here than I would. And oh, there's some elegant lining embroidery. And I'll talk about the individual skills here in a moment for these respective professions. So as you can see, it's exactly the same, except you can craft light and medium armor here. And then if we go down to woodworking, you can craft staffs and bows. Now, for me, the woodworking station is a ways away, but I will be heading down there for the alchemy station in a second, so I will go ahead and show that to you guys right now. Alright, so here we are at the woodworking station, and as I said, this is identical to how the previous crafting stations work, except here you can craft bows, all different kinds of staffs, as well as shields. Now, I don't have my woodworking leveled up as much, but I do have it decently upgraded, so I can craft up to about level 44 shields and staves and bows. So next up here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the skills that revolve around these professions. So they're all the same again throughout blacksmithing, clothing, and woodworking. But obviously they work differently depending on what you want to craft. So metalworking is the same as tailoring, etc. is the same as woodworking. And as you increase this, as you get up your level, will in turn allow you to make higher level items. So this is the most important one, because if you want to craft your own gear, you have to be getting this up. Deconstructing items, crafting items, researching items to get your level up. Now the next one is Keen Eye. Now I don't use this a lot because I get most of my materials from deconstructing, but basically Keen Eye will highlight these items out in the world so you can see them easier. The nodes, for example, for mining, or for clothing, the plants you need for light armor, etc. For crafting medium armor, you actually need to kill animals and skin them. So you can spot animals pretty easily, but that's good for light armor, and then for woodworking you'd be able to spot wood, obviously. The next one is a miner hireling. Now, obviously the hireling is the same for the other professions. And the hireling will once a day send you valuable items. They'll sometimes send you tannins to upgrade things. They'll send you materials themselves, maybe things to add traits, etc. So they're very helpful, and you can actually upgrade how helpful they are as you get your level up a little bit. The next one is the extraction, which is a very important one. It's unraveling under clothing, and wood extraction under woodworking. Now the extraction trait basically improves the chances of extracting more powerful things. So when you're refining or deconstructing, you can sometimes get powerful tannins. As you saw, I got an elegant lining and an embroidery. That doesn't normally happen unless you have higher skill levels like I do, and it helps out a lot because you can really get some valuable materials, and you can either sell them or use them for yourself. Save yourself a lot of work and a lot of money. Now next one is metallurgy, and I don't actually have this one for blacksmithing. I have it stitching under clothing, but basically this allows you to research 2 items at once, because researching is a very lengthy process and can take up to 3 days, or can go anywhere from 6 hours to 3 days and even higher. So researching 2 items at once greatly reduces the time, and it lets you obviously get things done faster, and it decreases the actual time it'll take. So 5% doesn't seem like a lot, but it becomes to be like 1 hour or something the higher it goes, and really it pays off getting this perk if you're going to be researching a lot. So the next one, and probably another extremely important one, is the expertise. Here I have temper expertise and tannin expertise and etc. for woodworking. Basically this increases the chances of improving your items. So normally to upgrade an item from white to green would take 5 honing stones and probably 7 embroidery or dwarven oil. Now when you get this perk, it basically makes it so it only takes 4 honing stones and maybe 5 embroidery to upgrade something to blue. And if you get it again, obviously it makes it even lower. So it makes it easier for you to make higher level items, because when you get to the area where you're making legendary items, it takes upwards from 10 plus of the legendary tempers to make an item. So it's very important to get this if you're going to be crafting your own things as well. So next, let us get into the other 3 professions now that I've covered all of those skills. First of all, we have alchemy. Now alchemy works in a very similar way to how it does in Skyrim. Basically, you need a solvent, which are liquids or potions you can find out in the world, or you can even buy them from a person here. I'll see if this woman right here has anything to sell. Nope, she just has some elixirs. But basically, you'll find a solvent out in the world, which is like a water or something to put the items themselves in, and you'll drop that in there, and then you'll find 2 reagents out in the world that will sometimes combine into something helpful or something deadly. You can put on a weapon or something, poison. Take these to do more damage, survive longer, have more health, have stamina, regen, etc. So you can actually look up all the combinations online. I'm not big into alchemy yet. I'm going to start getting into it more now that I'm getting close to maxing out my other professions. But basically that's how it works. Very similar to Skyrim. You can just make your own potions and do things like that. Next up, we have provisioning. Now, provisioning allows you to create specific pieces of food or drink in your that you can the recipes that you've learned. So basically, you want to go out into the world, and you'll find recipes all over the place. Now, I don't have my provisioning leveled up a lot either, but I do, however, have a lot of recipes. So you can see I have some grilled things, bread and pies, and then some soup and stew. Now, you want to go out and find the materials for this. They drop very commonly off of a lot of different places, and this food actually helps you out a lot. Look at that, increases max magicka by 216 for over half an hour. It's very good, and with some further skills you can actually increase the duration of these things as well. As you can see, I can currently only craft roast goat or kwama quiche, I think that's what it says. So I need to start leveling up my provisioning, but I do get food from other places. I can sometimes buy it from guild store, etc. So it kind of keeps me from leveling this up, but I should probably be getting to that because provisioning is very important. And now you can also have food and drink on you at once, which is pretty cool. As you can see, I have a lot of drinks leveled up here as well. Real quick, since I forgot to go over the alchemy skills, let's take a look at both those and the provisioning ones. Now the first 2 here are identical to the other professions, so I won't go over those, but next we have medicinal use. Resulting effects last 10% longer. It is what it says. It's very helpful, and you can probably even get that upwards to maybe 30 or 40% longer. Chemistry, you can get a duplicate of the potion when you're crafting it, which is also very nice. If you know what you want to have, if you know what you want to craft, and you want to keep it on you constantly, you can just get even more of them. A laboratory use, you can use 3 reagents, which allows you to make more powerful potions that last longer, do more interesting things. And snake blood, a reduced duration of negative effects. So if you consume a potion for whatever reason that has a negative effect on it, maybe it also has a good effect or something like that, it will obviously reduce the duration of that, and you can probably get it up even higher from 50%. Now under provisioning, It's also very similar to alchemy. Add 5 minutes to the duration of any consumed drink. That's what I just discussed. Add 5 minutes to the duration of any eaten food. Chef increases 1 extra serving, etc. And then lastly, we have the hireling. So this kind of just increases the duration of everything, increases extra servings, and you can get a hireling. So the last profession we have to cover here is enchanting. Now, enchanting works in a very interesting way in the Elder Scrolls Online, and I actually have a little bit of experience with it, so I'll be able to discuss that with you guys. But basically, there are 3 types of runes. There are potency runes, there are essence runes, and aspect runes. The potency rune affects the level range of the enchant you are creating. Pretty simple. The essence rune affects maybe if it gives you health, if it takes away health, if it does shock damage, if it does fire damage. I forgot to mention there are 2 types of potency runes. So there's potency runes that can give you things, or there's potency runes that can reduct things from other people that are obviously supposed to go on your weapons and things like that. So if we take an ode and then we take a health, I assume that will be steel health. And then we go from there with the aspect rune. Now the aspect runes affect the quality of that enchant. Now Ta obviously makes white ones. Denata is rare upwards to Kuta, which is a legendary rune, or a legendary enchant actually. So let's go ahead and make an enchantment here. Obviously we only have creation and extraction, so it's pretty simple. We'll put Ode in, we'll put Oko in, and we'll see what we get here. And I'll go ahead and add a Jidota.
Ode, Oko, Jidota.
We have Petty Glyph of Absorb Health. Yep. So you can put this on a weapon. It's a life drain enchant, levels 10 to 20, and you can steal health from the person you're hitting. See, I don't have my my potency runes upgraded enough to make my own enchants, but I'm getting there. So the second step in enchanting, if you find enchants out in the world, or if you want to get things back, is extraction. Now with extraction, you can take it and do it just like maybe disconstruction, and sometimes get back runes, or other things from enchanting. If you actually find a lot of enchants out in the world, so you can collect them all, come here and extract them all, get all the materials, and go from there. Now the skills are kind of interesting under the enchant tree. We do have Keen Eye. This is the only Keen Eye I'm invested in because runes are kind of hard to spot. Potency and aspect improvement lets you use the higher levels of them. That's really what I need to get up. The hireling is what it sounds like, and aspect extraction increases the chance of getting the aspect rune back, because aspect runes are considered to be the most important. Right now I can make up to blue quality things, but only up to level 25, so I really need to improve on my potency here. When I get to enchanting 10, I will be doing just that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this has been helpful to those of you who are just starting to play the game, or are a little confused with some of the different professions. I know myself starting out and getting to max level only kind of consisted of me making my armor and making my weapon. So I didn't really focus on alchemy or enchanting or provisioning, as you may have seen, because I don't have it leveled very much at all. And I really just kind of focused on the more important, not important, but the ones I found more necessary to me as I was leveling up. So, but really, it is important to work on all the professions at once. It's going to really be helpful to you in the long run, and it'll actually improve your DPS or your playstyle, or keep you alive longer. However you like to play the game, if you're into PvP or whatever, it's really going to help you no matter what. If you're really working on all these professions and taking advantage of what they have to offer. So like I said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. I'll be back in a couple days with some more Let's Plays and some more die guides, etc. And I will see you all then. Thanks.